We've got our special guest. He's just come out in the green room. There's been some complaints about the quality of the tea. So I don't know what that's all about. But let me bring him on and I'll let him introduce himself. Let me just regroup here. There you go. Yeah, there you go. How are you doing, man?
All right, yeah, good, thanks.
Welcome to the crazy show, which is Duggys' Atomic Dustbin, part 13.
Well, lucky for some.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. So what's the issue with the tea? Was it you complaining or was it Janice?
Yeah, I like my tea with just a tiny dash of milk, and there was a bit much in
Right,
that
sorry
one.
about that. We'll sack someone. No,
No, it's fine.
we'll beat someone up.
You made me new, and it's all right. It's all good.
We will publicly flog them and TikTok it so you can see that they can hear the screams. in fact, my brain's going now. I'm gonna have to do something like that.
Is that what TikTok's for? Is it? I'm not on there, I'm afraid.
No, I'm not saying anything. I was gonna, whatever. I'm on it because it's just I'm mental, and it's just another form of getting stuff out there. And you got to try these things, haven't you? So
Sure, yeah.
now. We bring artists on here on this show because that's what it's all about. It's about promoting them and it's about finding a little bit about them. And your track is absolutely the amount of music we're getting in the minute, and there's some quality out there. But your track actually blew me away. I think it's awesome, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
I do. I know we've got another one from you, an exclusive, but we're going to let Eddie showcase that on his Friday new music show.
Okay.
But we've got your thing. So anyway, I don't even know if we've introduced ourselves yet. Introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name's Joe Peacock, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I live in Birmingham, and mainly kind of a DIY musician. I do a few kind of acoustic-y type gigs, but obviously that doesn't quite fit with the stuff that's on the new album, so that's not going to be very gigged.
Right. Okay. Hey, you're not far from me, pal. You saw Three Little Wolves in Studio One the other week when he come down and do a set for us, acoustic set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's up to you. No pressure. Just zip down the motorway. Bosh. I'm only at Junction 3, so you're all right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway. So your acoustic stuff, do you normally tour then? Do you normally do a bit of touring with acoustic stuff? Do you go pubs and clubs and stuff?
So at the moment, I'm rehearsing with somebody else. So we've put a duo together, which is kind of going to be alt folk kind of acoustic stuff. So that's the project after the album that I'm putting out at the moment.
Right.
So yeah, I like to switch things up a lot. So this is the third album that I'm putting out next month. And that's all kind of electronic keyboard based stuff.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult for me to play that live because it would just turn out a bit like karaoke, I think, basically, which is not really what I'm looking for. But yeah, the albums before that were far more rock based. But I could get away with playing those songs acoustically, so I've done a few kind of small gigs around Birmingham doing that.
Got you.
And I did some online stuff. Doing Zoom gigs when it was lockdown and stuff, just to kind of connect with people and do it that way. And I record stuff and put it up on YouTube and
I've seen
Twitter and stuff as well.
Yeah, I've seen it because you did Three Little Wolves track the other day, didn't you? Which was fractured a bit. I couldn't get that song out of my head all weekend. It just drove me well, it's a good track though. But do you know when you get a song, I couldn't get rid of it. It was like all weekend.
Yeah,
found myself singing it.
Almost as catchy as there was another one by a guy called Sam Lambeth. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nod Your Head. That was the catchiest song. As soon as I heard that was just stuck in my head for hours afterwards.
Nightmare, isn't it?
So, yeah, there are a few who are good at writing these catchy songs at the moment.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So what got you into the old music then? Have you always been into it?
Yeah, I've always been into it. So my dad was a music journalist and just I was brought up in a house where there was always music on and massive selection of different stuff. So yeah, he was like friends with John Peel and he met all the big stars in the late 60s, early 70s and stuff like that. So that kind of feeling of music being a massive part of our lives was always there.
Yeah.
And I was in bands from the age of 15. I started off as a drummer. Saw you had the drumsticks out there.
I'm an air drummer, me. I'm not a drummer. I'm an air drummer.
Yeah. And then when I got to university, it was about halfway through university, I was singing and drumming, and that wasn't the easiest thing to do. So I switched to playing guitar because I was able to do that as well. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get
became
that.
a
Because
drum man.
it's quite physical drumming, isn't it? It
It
is
is, yeah.
physical, isn't it?
I've got recordings of when I was playing live and
Singing.
drumming and singing, and it does suffer a bit.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. So, do you do that? Are you a full-time musician? Is that your full-time stuff, or do you what do you do besides that? Anything? Or
Yeah, no, I work for a charity 3 days a week.
excellent.
So we do advocacy for adults with learning disabilities. So I do fundraising and communications for them. And yeah, the music is something I love doing on the side, and it's something I got back into doing over lockdown. I was furloughed, and I hadn't been in a band for yeah, 10, 12 years, something like that. I'd kind of come back to this country from living in Russia, believe it or not.
Comrade.
And the last band I was in Russia, so I just kind of
Wow.
had lost motivation to do that and to try and get another band together and push that
Wow.
forward and stuff. So yeah, I had all this pent up creative energy inside me that I hadn't kind of let out, and then I just started writing songs again. They just poured out of me. I wrote like 50 songs in like a few months, and that's formed the basis of what I've been doing over the last year or so. Like my first album that I actually released onto the streaming services and all that was on April last year, and then I released another one which was produced by Joe Adamar, who's a really good producer, and he actually made that one sound good. The first one was just kind of demo standard. It wasn't actually well produced, but the second one really sounds good, and I was really proud of that record. It was went from very different genres, from kind of really noisy kind of punky discordant stuff like Sonic Youth kind of things, to electro pop and reggae and all kinds of stuff on there.
Excellent. I've got a question now. I'm looking over here. I'm not ignoring you because I've got that's my information's coming. Janice has come on. She said she's apologising for the tea. No, she's not. But there you go. How did Murdered Song of the Day come about?
So that wasn't me that initiated it. There was a few guys on Twitter. So there's James and Stevie, and I just started noticing it. So Sam Lambeth was posting a few songs on there, and there are a few people. Some of them are kind of professional standard musicians. They play in bands and stuff, and others are just people just learning to play the guitar. And it's a really nice, supportive community, and people just post their covers up there. So what got me back into doing music was I started putting the odd acoustic cover on Facebook, and people reacted to those really well. So from that, I got into writing songs, and then when I saw that was happening on Twitter, I got involved with it. And so yeah, I just love it. It kind of challenges me to play different things, and I always saw myself as someone who just played my own songs and wasn't really into playing covers, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, because it's a good idea actually, because that gets people interested in, doesn't it? It's not always about when you promote you, because obviously that'll help promote you, but it's not always about here's my latest track, When you're doing something bit off kilter like that, it's like, oh, that's interesting. I'll listen to that. Oh, that's good, and then people get interested. It's a good concept what you're doing actually. I'm just looking for I do like that. I was just looking for because you've done some. Anyway, I'm just looking on your Twitter. So when's the album out?
It's going to be next month. I haven't finalised the date yet, but I'm just waiting for the last track to be mastered and sent back to me. And when I've got that, then it'll be middle of July, let's say.
Yeah. I'm just let's maybe right. And we'll do this for the people out there in on YouTube. Not YouTube, YouTube and Mixcloud. We'll switch to the screen. So this is taken from Joe's Twitter account. So we'll flick over, cue the VT. This is him murdering a song of the day.
It's the clothes we wear, the tasteless bracelets and the dye in our hair. Maybe it's our kookiness, or maybe it's our nowhere towns, our nothing places and our cellophane sounds. Maybe it's our looseness, but we're trash, you and me.
Excellent, mate.
We're the
Brilliant. So if you want to go and see more of that, go and check him out on Twitter, Joe Peacock. We're back on the screen now. So brilliant, mate. It's a great idea. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So that one of the people who's involved with it, she said, "Oh, this is my favourite song. I would love it if someone did that." So I just took it on and said, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll give it a go."
Yeah.
And learned the song. And that day, I just watched Brett Anderson doing a version of it on YouTube and kind of picked it up from that.
Yeah, I like it, mate. It's a brilliant idea, and you've got. I think you've got something there with it. I really like that. Let's see if we've got any more EO questions. How did he find Duggystoneradio tour? Eddie always asks the question. You have to ask this every time. If you had a tour van, what kind of tour van would you have? Oh, you probably don't have a tour van, do you? Probably have a car.
I don't have a tour van. If I had one, it would be some kind of highly ecologically clean kind of electric.
All right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, whatever floats your boat. How did he? He's also asked how did he find Duggystoneradio? That because of Janice. Janice has been working on that, haven't you? So it's good how the links work with all the different bands we've been talking to. You know, bands.
So in fact, I actually went to university with Paul from Three Little Wolves.
Did you?
We were at Kiel together. So when I saw he was on here the first time, then that's what kind of introduced me to Duggystone.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love Paul to bits. I think he's awesome.
Oh. Yeah, he's a great guy. And it's been, because I hadn't seen him for like over 20 years. And then over lockdown, we connected over Twitter. And now we've been out for a drink a few times. So it's good.
That's wonderful. And what I'm liking about, I know this is the interview, but what I'm liking about what we're doing and what's happening on Twitter, and that's why we sort of got involved, is the community that's building up, and it's like growing. You know, it's like a spider's web. There's people connecting with other people, and I really like it. A lot of people slag Twitter and say it's toxic, but they must be following their own people, because I think it's absolutely a great platform for people to connect, communicate, link up, and do whatever they need to do and collaborate. I think it's a fantastic thing. So you've
absolutely, yeah. So Mintball as well. I did a song with him, and I've never met him in real life. We just connected over Twitter.
Well, Mintball is from my neck of the woods. He's from Salford.
Yeah. I watched his interview with you as well.
We just hit it off straight away. We had a pre-chat show, and it was about an hour and a half long before we even did the show. He was unbelievable, and I love him to bits. I think I'm looking forward to meeting him, because he's great, and it'd be nice to meet everyone personally, face to face. Anyway, enough of that.
I'd like to meet him one day too. We've only exchanged like text.
We'll have to arrange a dustbin meetup, won't we? In Trash Alley, we'll meet up there. So
put a festival on.
Yeah,
we'll all come and play.
Well, we're thinking about it. Has crossed my mind a few times. We just need someone to sponsor it and get it rocking. So what have you got? You've got the album coming out. Is anything else planned? You're doing some collaboration. You've got a duo going. So is that the direction you think you're going to go and build up? I think you're going to build a band here, kid. You're getting a band back together, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm not sure about having a band, because it's so much work and expense, and you have to find the place to rehearse and get everyone together. And, you know, because I'm the person who writes the songs and does all that, then I always end up kind of doing everything and organising everybody, and just, much as I would love to be playing in a band, I really enjoy that thing where people come together, and that feeling of playing together with other people is amazing. So the duo that I'm doing with Louisa Davis Foley at the moment, so look out for that later in the year. Cool. We're going to start gigging first before we record, so that we get our material really kind of tight and sounding as good as it possibly can do. but I just love the freedom of being able to write and play whatever I want.
Yeah,
So
I get that. I get that.
you know, I can do punk songs, I can do electronica, I can
Yeah.
do reggae, I can do synth pop, I can
Makes
do
sense.
anything that I want at the moment.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Right. What I'm going to do, well, a couple of things. We're going to let you get on your day in a minute. We're going to play the track and the video, and we'll let you go and do your day, and people can enjoy that. But before you go, can you do us an artist drop? Because we're going to get in all the artist studio drops. So can you do something like, "This is Joe Peacock, and you're listening to Duggystoneradio," something like that? Go.
This is Joe Peacock, and you're listening to the wonderful Duggystoneradio. Keep it tuned to this station.
Thank you. We'll sort that out. But absolutely wonderful. Where's the best place for people to get hold of you? Is it on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter every day pretty much. And yeah, I have got a Facebook page as well, but Twitter is the place that I interact with people most. So it's kind of,
Right.
Joe_Peacock on Twitter.
We're gonna play this track now, and I think, and I said it before, it's got a very much of a left field type of vibe to it. I think it's an absolute genius track, Joe. I adore it, man. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, well, the left field feel is very much thanks to the Invisible Squirrel, who remixed it for me. So the original track, which you'll hear on the album when that comes out, sounded very different. It had strings and it had all kinds of different parts to it, but he's stripped it right down and then just put these synth lines in it, which really make it kick.
I love it. Thanks very much for chatting. We'll keep in touch. Hopefully we'll get you in here at some point, and make sure you send everything from the album, and we'll keep promoting you. Thanks very much, Joe. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Get around this, people. Go and follow Joe. This is an absolute stonker of a track. Thanks, my friend. See you soon. Now, what do you think of that track? I think that is an absolute banger of a track. Thank you very much, Joe. Thanks for being a sport. Absolutely wonderful. And Janice has been on. She said, can we do something with Invisible Squirrel? That's your show, baby. Let's get it on. Anyway, Thursdays, 8 a.m, Duggys Atomic Dustbin. Obviously, if you're watching this somewhere else or listening to it somewhere else, come and join us. This is the place to find the best emerging artists out there. And believe us or not, it's entirely up to you. But if you look at the timeline of when we've interviewed some of our artists on here, several months later or weeks later, they've ended up on the BBC introducing. We're ahead of the curve. There you go. Right, that was wonderful.